The show where there are no penalties, nothing is offside, and everything is fair game. This is The Gloves Are Off.
Hello and welcome to another edition of The Gloves Are Off. I'm Moses Boulder. We got a jam-packed show for you. Lots in store, but I got to get to these guys first. And in particular, my man, Andrew Brethauer. I've been gone for a week. How was it in my absence?
Let's see. She insulted me by saying everyone loves me or hates me, and yeah, I'm glad you're back. My mom wasn't happy. Put it that way. I don't think she was too pleased. So.
Well, I'm here, my man. I'm here for you. So it's awesome having you back again, Andrew, with the Lloydminster Source, sports editor, and this guy who's in the visitor's chair, a guy that we like to actually have more so, great knowledge in sports in and around the city as well as the national stage. I'm pumping your tires. Plus an angler. I heard you caught a real big fish. Grant Kersinger with the Lloydminster RCMP.
Hi, thanks for having me. It's going to be fun.
Was it a big fish?
You know, it was the biggest one I caught. It was about 13 pounds, 10 ounces. So it's a little bit more than that. You know, I can actually prove that it wasn't just the fish story of a big one. So. Oh,
that's perfect. Well, it's to have you on. And, of course, talking about big fish, we'll talk about Ben Bishop. It's kind of mysterious how they kind of kept everything under wraps. Is he hurt? Is he going to be out? What was going to happen? Well, Ben Bishop did play in Game 3, and boy, oh boy, the Lightning absolutely missed him. Or could have missed him. They didn't. The Chicago Blackhawks, however, couldn't get the puck into the net. He was such a big body, a good presence, looked like he was fighting off some injuries during the game, but managed to help his team in a victory and take a 2-1 series lead. If you're Chicago, is Ben Bishop starting to get in their head? And we'll start with you, Grant.
You know, I think Ben Bishop, as a big body, definitely makes a big difference for them. Like, Chicago has to look at that and say, hey, look, we had an open net and we missed it. You know, that was a missed opportunity, those kinds of things, right? But I think that they're able to get past that. They're going to be able to see that Bishop is just a player. He's just a goalie. And once they dissect that game film, I think they're going to be able to see that they need to do more lateral movement. They need to try and open them up. And I think that Chicago, they have so much talent on their team that they're going to be able to find a way to get past Bishop. Great goalie, did a great thing in the game last night. But I think he is beatable, and I think Chicago is going to be able to overcome that.
When you got goalies hurt the way he is, and then you put up that kind of performance, it's got to be in their heads, and they got to start making him move side to side, making him do. Because he's a hurt goalie, make him do something he's not. I think a lot of their shots were easy. They weren't massively testing. When a team like Chicago gets shut down against a hurt goalie in the Stanley Cup Finals, there's a massive problem. So you got to assume they're going to come back in Game 4, and if they run Bishop again and he's still just as hurt, there's got to be something else completely different than what happened in Game 3.
You don't want to make that the actual anthem. No. You might say that in the locker room. You don't say that in public. But is running Ben Bishop going to be the only reason why Chicago wins is if they start hurting him? And to be fair, they got to him, it seemed like, at points. But
yeah, I think
will it be the thing?
I still think that Chicago is the favorite to win this, even though they're down 2-1. With the players that they have, their captain, Taves, he is clutch. You saw that in the last series. He comes out, big Game 7, Potts, 2 goals, sets the tone, lets everybody know where he's at. You have Hossa and Sharp and Kane, and the list goes on. Keith on the back end, he has 19 points in 19 games. For a defenseman in the playoffs, that's fantastic. So Chicago has a lot of weapons that they can use to get at Bishop. I will be more curious to see if playing Bishop is actually going to hurt the Lightning. If he's not able to get up fast enough, if he's not able to push across, if playing Vasilevsky would be a better choice where they know that he's not injured. But that's what I'm curious to see about Game 4.
See, I look at the other way. I think Tampa's now the favorite. I picked them as the team I thought was going to actually win this series in, I think, 7, because you have all these young guys on this team. It's built on a core of young players, and if you just give them this thing to rally behind, and our goalie's hurt and he's winning us games, and that team's going to rally, and these young kids, they find things to rally behind. And so when you give them something, and if they take the next game, we already know a 3-1 series deficit's hard to come by, but you give even more momentum to a team like that. To me, it's in the making for Tampa to win. I think what Chicago can, if they have to figure out, if they can't figure out within the first period what to beat Ben Bishop, this series is pretty much over.
Yeah. All right, guys. I want to get to this. I know we could go on for days, but I really want to get to this next topic. The Women's World Cup underway. Canada taking on China. It took an injury time goal by Christine Sinclair, Captain Canada, if you will, in the 90th plus minute to secure 3 points for Canada. And I want to say, obviously, it's big in the scheme of things. You get 3 points. You're in the driver's seat, so to speak, in terms of getting to that medal round. But how big of a win was this for the nation as a whole to rally behind this team, knowing they host the World Cup, and to get everybody involved?
It's an awesome thing for the host country to win the opening game, their opening game. If Canada would have lost that, there would have been definitely some downturn, I would think, in attendance, people's enthusiasm. A game that they should win. If you look at it on paper and if you look at it in the rankings and stuff, Canada should win that game. So it's nice that they were able to come through and fulfill that, and in front of 50,000 plus fans. I think that's a fantastic thing. There's so much pressure on these young ladies to produce. We have such high expectations of how well they've done in the past, and the players that we have, whether it be the captain or younger rookies, that are playing center in different positions like that. So I think being able to do that and get that first one kind of out of the way, kind of release that pressure and tension that they'll definitely be feeling, is huge.
And also helps the rest of the tournament. They beat a 16th place team. They play New Zealand, 7th place. It's moving forward. You don't want to start by, okay, we lost to a 16th place team. Now we got to play the team just below them, and then we got to go play the better team. And then hopefully we get out of the round robin, and now we're playing in playoffs. You've put yourself in a bad situation if you lose that first game. And like I said, everyone's now rallied behind it. The fans have done it. The country has done it. Everyone's rallied behind this team because it's Canada's team and Canada's World Cup. So they needed that win just to smooth everything out. Okay, we can play at home. We can play at home. We can beat people. Let's just keep moving forward. Now the pressure's off. Now they just go out there and play good soccer, and they're a good team.
Yeah, they're a fantastic team. They have a lot of young people that are coming up that are able to make big plays and differences. It's good for them to get that win, but I think that they have room to improve, and I think they're going to be able to do that. They had 67% ball possession in that first half. They were all over it in their offensive end, but they have little things that they can work on, ball improvement and ball control, stuff like that. But I think it was a really big win for them to get.
All right, guys, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we're going to have more topics, including can LeBron James lead the Cleveland Cavaliers to the promised land? We'll tell you more coming up.